कर्मण्यवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफल हेतुर्भु mate sangotsva karmani. Translating the shloka in English, you have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself to be the cause of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. This is the shloka from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 47. And the reason why I have stated this shloka in the beginning of this video, the video is titled as Can you start your own business in college? The simple answer is yes. But the reason I have stated this shloka is because I have myself tried to implement this shloka throughout my college life. Because college life is usually filled with distractions. There are a lot of things you can do. There are a lot of things you can do with your career. There are a lot of things you can explore. But I try to focus on what is important for me. I try to focus on what is the right thing to do. So I was wondering what are the ways I can focus myself, and along the way I got this beautiful book which has totally opened my eyes, which is the Bhagavad Gita. And inside this pure book of knowledge, I have found this shloka to be the most useful for anyone who wants to do something in his life. And I've tried to implement this shloka throughout my college life. Right from the first year, which is exactly 3 years ago, I was trying out everything. I created a vlog, I participated in hackathons, came fourth in one of those, came second in some of those. I vlogged the whole experience, and then at the same time I was making a lot of new friends. I was exploring in events, competitions, doing hosting. Like by the time I was in my second year, I was also into hosting events and lot of things which a typical student does in college. But somewhere along the way, I also realized that engineering mein I just don't want to keep on doing my regular CSE degree studies. So at the same time, I was also interested into content creation. I've always been into content creation. I like this. And then I thought maybe learning how to edit better videos could be a really useful skill for my content creation. So I started learning video editing from YouTube. I took this course of Tarun Speaks and it was very useful. And inside that course, I learned a lot of things. But apart from all of these things, it really got me into video editing. So I started figuring things out myself through YouTube, through ChatGPT, all the other doubts which I had. And I just Googled and ChatGPT all the doubts and watched all the videos, and then I slowly started becoming better. And last year or so, 2024 January, I earned my first rupee through video editing, and in the first 4 months I was in my beginning stages of freelancing. So video editing is the first skill that I learned through which I earned my first money. And while I was editing my own videos, I thought, why don't I start editing videos in a bigger scale, like make my own agency, like a proper video editing agency. Because by that point I started to watch few agency owner videos, and then I also started understanding how this whole game of agency works. And after seeing that, I thought it's simple, why don't I just try it? Because look, the goal is not to just be successful just like that and learn everything all at once. The goal is to try and to fail, and that's okay, because college is all about having that freedom to try and fail at things that you are interested in. So I thought, why not give it a shot? So I started reading all the business books. Like I was obsessed with the content, I still am, with the content of Alex Hormozy. And the book's name is $100 Million Offers and $100 Million Leads. I started reading the whole book. In the first book, he explains how to set up an offer, how to set an offer so good that your customer feels stupid saying no. This is like the tagline of the book. And then what is a proper offer, that I learned. And then the proper way you can get clients. So I started watching a lot of YouTube videos, tried a lot of them, implemented and failed, but I never gave up. So by the end of August, I started my own website. It was named as Ekagram Media. The idea was very simple. The friends which I made through Tarun Speaks course and some content which I uploaded already on YouTube and Instagram. The goal was very simple, to be a bridge that connects clients and editors and at a fair price. So I started my own agency, started working with some of the most interesting YouTubers. We worked with Sanjeev Sriramana. Slowly I started to realize what is this whole game of video editing and video editing agency, and I understood what is business at this point. So let's start with what is business to begin with. A business is simply an economic activity that happens by you selling a service or product, and in return you get some profits. I was already generating profits through my video editing thing, which I was freelancing. So I just thought, why don't I make this like a business and try how business feels in the first place? Because I always wanted to be a businessman, because it's so cool, like that suit that you wear, like all the impact, the greater positive impact that you create through businesses. So that always is something that attracts me the most, the positive impact. So I thought, why not just give it a shot? So I started my own video editing agency through that thought process. And just like that, I think in the month of June, July, we published our website of Ekagram Media. And this was right at the time when I was preparing for my semester exams, and at the same time I was working in my agency, because I didn't want to waste all my time just preparing for exams, which is just rote learning after a point. It's just repeated questions that come in the model paper. So I spent all my time building this website, and yeah, that is how I started our video editing agency, the business. So that's the whole story. That's how I started. That is exactly why I started the video editing agency. Now I'll tell you how it feels to start your own business. Like, I don't know if I can say this is a proper business, but I'll still call it business, because we did everything from setting SOPs, like standard operating procedures of how you need to talk with clients. We responded them very well. We started delivering them the best services that we could through video editing, and they saw great results as well. It's not like we did some mediocre work. We really did some great work at our agency. Really soon things started to pay off, and we started to grow. Around this point of time, I started to realize there are two things here: me as an editor and me as an agency owner. If I choose the path of becoming the best editor, then of course I can start working with great clients. But I chose the second part, which is of starting my own agency. The second point is just to learn how it feels, how it happens, how it works. So after like December, I realized, oh, this is how it feels. It feels hectic. Managing college, video editing agency, your own YouTube videos once in a while, and all the assignments, projects. And I was also joining gym at that point, so I was very consistent with gym as well. So it was all chaos, but I enjoyed it a lot. Now, the biggest learning which I have had throughout this journey, because there are very big highs and lows in this journey of starting your own business as a college student, the biggest lesson that I've learned is being a karma yogi. Now, this concept of karma yogi I've learned straight up from Bhagavad Gita, and it simply means that doing something without expectation. And this thought process of doing something without expecting the results, but that doesn't mean you're not working for the result. You still work for the result, but you're not expecting that it is going to happen. You're not going to do the job and then wait, oh, let's see what happens. You're just keeping on doing your work, that's it. You're not waiting for what is going to happen, what is not going to happen. You're just doing your work, which is in your control. Simplifying this, it's just as simple as controlling the controllables which are in your hand. So now let's talk about what is the good, bad and ugly of starting your own business in college. So talking about the good part, which is something I really care about, is that I've learned a lot of things which I think I didn't even learn through my college degree. So right now I am about to complete my engineering. I am in my third year of engineering. Next year I'm going to be in my fourth year, the final year. And the biggest lessons that I've learned throughout my college life, the networks that I've built, the friends that I've made, the amazing people's perspective that I've gained, it's all because of my leap of faith of starting my own agency, starting my own business. Now I know I'm not as successful as the other people out there, but I also know this thing for me is just the beginning. This is the first step of how I want to take things in life. So it's been a journey full of learnings. Definitely wouldn't have learned all these things without taking that bold decision of starting the agency. Actually, I started this because I didn't want to waste all my time in college and not waste all my time writing pointless assignments and making pointless projects. You get it. If you know, you know. Now, talking about the bad things about this whole journey, I mean the lows, obviously. Firstly, it's tough. It's absolutely tough to maintain everything. The deliverables that you need to give to the clients every week, you need to provide them with whatever you have promised to deliver. That is one thing. And then managing people, I've learned a lot about people throughout this editing journey and throughout this business agency thing. And I realized that I suck at it, but doesn't matter. I'm going to learn these skills and I'm going to be better at doing things. One more stuff that you will realize is that anything that's worth doing is hard. It's like very, very hard. It's like sleepless nights. It's like if your editor doesn't do the job, then you need to come into the picture and do the job. Here, because it was a service-based business and because I myself had the expertise of editing, so I came into the picture whenever the editor wasn't able to deliver the products or the service. So I was also involved a lot in the whole process, and by this whole thing I realized that in future if I start any business, I need to have one or the other expertise or a skill that is related to that business. That is what I've learned through this whole video editing agency thing. But I don't know, all the bad aspects are also kind of great learnings throughout this journey. And talking about the ugly side of things, I think I just realized how pointless college degrees are at this point, because all you're doing is that you are rote learning every single thing that your college teachers, your professors are teaching you, and it just simply feels waste of time at this point because everything is available online in Google. College degrees are definitely worth for the people, those who are beginners. For the people, those who have no idea about computers and all, this degree is great. But for the people who have awareness about this, and for the people like me who like to explore things, at this point I'm just doing the college degree thing for my parents. Maybe some fun things that I do with my friends. So that is why I'm doing degree at this point. And you realize a lot of bullshit happens around things which are not necessary in life. And if college wasn't there, then I would have gone all into my video editing agency. Never mind, because at this point I just realized I need to focus more and more on my video editing skills, because that is the best way I can network with people. That is the best way I can help other people. Now, along this journey of business, I've realized this one thing, that if you want to earn money or if you want to create something which is of value, it is only going to happen when you help other people. And video editing, I think, is just a medium through which I help creators, which help millions of students, literally millions of students or audience in general. And this all works because you're just helping each other out. This is what I've learned through my experience of starting the business side of things, starting to earn your own income while you're still in college, starting to manage your whole expenses while you're still in college, and probably not depending on your parents totally. Somehow there will be some level of dependence, which I think I'll try to not be dependent on my parents totally, but you get the point. But across this journey, I've also learned how to communicate what you want. Like, I literally am able to convince all my teachers and HODs that, hey, look, this is something that I'm doing, the business side of things. Please allow me to do this because this is going to become something really, really big in future. And if I just spend enough time, I'll be able to do this in a much bigger scale, and I'll do great at this thing. So please just let me do my own thing and not focus on the placements of college. That is something that I have been able to tell the HODs, the teachers, and surprising enough, they are giving me attendance, at least for now. I don't know what's gonna happen next year, but yeah, it gives you this confidence that you can do anything. Again, this all is tied up to that karma yogi mindset, which is doing something without any expectations and just focusing on the things that are in your control. So that was my whole experience around, can you start your own business in college? Do let me know what are your thoughts. This was a very raw and real type of conversation, and yes, do let me know how's life, how's everything, and I'll try to help you in the comment section. And do subscribe if you haven't, because at this point I'm just doing this because the kid in me always wanted to be a YouTuber. So even if this video doesn't receive views or likes, I still will be doing this because I just like doing this. I like sharing my journey, documenting it, and hopefully this is valuable for you guys. This helps some of you who are in college like me. And yeah, just do let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching.